Hello and welcome everyone to the start of another week and the start of another Daily 8 on the News 8 Live Desk. Phil Penarski back with you all again with the 8 stories that you need to know for your day. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving break, got to enjoy some time off, some time with the family, and definitely plenty of food. You also got to see the Lions and Wolverines pull out some victories. We'll be getting into some of that in just a little bit, but first our top story of the day. Earlier today, the Michigan Supreme Court denied an appeal made by Christopher Scher's legal team for his trial in a murder charge to be thrown out. The court made the decision on Monday, saying that Scher did not persuade the court enough to review the case. Scher, a former Grand Rapids police officer, now faces one count of second-degree murder for the death of Patrick Lyoya. Lyoya was shot and killed by Scher after a traffic stop in Grand Rapids back in April of 2022. Now, more than 2 years later, the trial will commence. Kent County Prosecutor Chris Becker has already stated that his office plans to move forward with the case as quickly as possible now. The Michigan Wolverines were victorious against the Ohio State Buckeyes, like I said, for a 4th straight year over the weekend, but it was after the clock hit all zeros that has people still talking. A fight broke out at midfield following Michigan's 13-10 win in the game. Wolverine players were attempting to plant a big blue Michigan flag at the 50-yard line when Ohio State players came over, and then the fighting then commenced. The flag was ripped away and the parties eventually dispersed, but the Big Ten Conference announced that both teams would now be fined $100,000 for their involvement, saying that the teams violated the conference's sportsmanship policy. One officer was injured in the brawl and was taken to a local hospital for treatment. A Holland family experienced some not-so-holiday spirit last week after their Christmas tree was stolen right off of their front porch. It happened last Monday. The Michelli family said that the tree was left there in its bag and someone came up and grabbed it right off from the porch. Now, that would be a pretty sad end to a story, but thankfully that isn't the case. One of the Michelli's neighbors saw our story and realized that the tree that was on their front porch was actually brought to their place of work. The tree has now been returned, and the families are experiencing a lot more joy this holiday season with the return of their tree. But what still remains to be unknown at this time is how exactly the tree ended up at their neighbor's place of work. That information has yet to be released to us. And all of that snow that we saw over the weekend will be perfect for our local ski resorts, including over at Bittersweet. The Otsego Township skiing destination officially opens this season today. Staff said that they will be keeping a close eye on the winter this time around. If you remember last ski season, it was a little rough for these places as we never really had a consistent snowfall. They will be making plenty of artificial snow over at Bittersweet this time around, as well as to help keep the skiing going this season. Staff said that they hope to have about 14 to 15 ski runs open for today's start. And researchers at Michigan State University might have found a new way to help the state fix those damn roads. They are working on a brand new type of concrete that will ease the wear and tear our roads feel, especially during this time of the year. The new creation would be this flexible, self-heating, self-healing concrete, and instead of exposing large cracks in the roads that we've seen, this new concrete will make them much smaller and thus easier to keep up with. The plan is to now demonstrate how this concrete works and start promoting it so then it can then be used all across the state in a variety of different ways. A staple in Grand Rapids' West Side celebrated a pretty big milestone over the weekend. Ballpark Floral and Gifts had its 120th anniversary on Saturday. The flower shop has been operating since 1904 over on Valley Avenue. The party came right on time, as Small Business Saturday also happened this past weekend, and saw lots of people come get some shopping done. The shop has changed names over the years, first starting out as Grand Rapids Floral Company, but now stands as Ballpark Floral. Owners say that they are ready now for the next 120 years of business. Let's take a step aside now and get you a look at your forecast, and we especially want to pay close attention to what's going on over on the lake shore. Here is Storm Team 8 meteorologist Scott Larson with more.
We're tracking some lake effect snow showers. You can see that things inland as you move toward Grand Rapids, fairly quiet. We've had some peaks of sunshine and a couple of flurries dropping. But meanwhile, as you approach the lakefront in South Haven, that is where we have some heavy snow, which is dropping. You can see that we have winter weather advisories in purple on your screen. Those are going to be lasting through the early morning hours of Tuesday. The expectation of about 2 to 4 inches of snow within those zones. Meanwhile, as you travel toward the lakefront from Ottawa County further south, approaching Berrien and Cass counties, winter storm warnings where there could be over half a foot of accumulation. You can see that snow continuing to slide from north to south along the lakefront. It looks like there will be some additional impulses that pass through as we continue on through the remainder of the day. Travel impacts are going to be great, especially moving into tonight and early Tuesday morning, especially near the lakeshore on I-196 and I-94 west of Kalamazoo. Here's a look at our forecast then for today. High temperatures near the freezing point, heavy snow at the lakefront.
All right, thanks, Scott. We end today's show with how you can check out tons of holiday light setups all across West Michigan. Now that Thanksgiving is behind us, we can look forward to the remainder of the holiday season, and the best way to do that is with all of these light displays. We've got a wide selection of lights that you and the whole family can see all across our viewing area. You can find the full list right now over on our website under the West Michigan Guide. Some of you may have already checked out some of the displays over at LMCU Ballpark or maybe Frederick Meyer Garden, but now you've definitely got a full list to really maximize these last couple of days of the holiday season. And that is going to do it for us today on this edition of the Daily 8. Remember, we're going to be back again tomorrow with 8 more stories that you need to know for your Tuesday. I want to thank everybody so much for tuning into this latest edition of the News 8 Live Desk. I'm Phil Pinarski, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.